Once upon a time, in a small village nestled between the mountains, there lived a group of people who were happy and content. They didn't have much in terms of material possessions, but they had something far more valuable: a sense of purpose and belonging in their community. They worked together, played together, and supported each other through thick and thin. But one day, a stranger arrived in the village. He was dressed in extravagant robes and spoke with an air of authority. The stranger began to tell the villagers about all the things they were missing out on: wealth, status, power, and promised to lead them to a better life if only they followed him. Many of the villagers were tempted by the stranger's promises. After all, who wouldn't want more than what they already had? But there were some who remained skeptical and wary of this charismatic outsider. They remembered the words of their wise elder, who once said, "If we are truly happy, they will have nothing to offer us." The villagers soon realized that the stranger was not who he claimed to be. He used fear tactics to control them, invoking death and destruction if they did not comply with his demands. The villagers began to see through his lies and manipulations, and they turned against him. But even in the face of rejection, the stranger refused to give up. He continued to peddle his false promises, trying to lure in those who were still uncertain or vulnerable. It was then that the villagers remembered another teaching from their wise elder. True spirituality is liberation, not just from the delusions of reality, but from the delusions of religion as well. The villagers realized that true happiness could only come from within themselves, not from an external source like the stranger. They focused on cultivating a sense of inner peace and contentment, finding joy in simple pleasures and cherishing their relationships with one another. And so, they lived happily ever after, free from fear, free from greed, and full of love for each other. The story of the village serves as a reminder to us all. When we find happiness within ourselves, no false leader can manipulate or control us. Let us strive to be our own leaders, guided by wisdom, compassion, and truth. In our daily lives, we encounter many leaders who try to sell us on their version of happiness. Whether it's through material possessions, social status, or religious dogma, these individuals seek to exploit our fears and insecurities for their own gain. But if we remember that true satisfaction comes from within, we can resist their empty promises and focus on what truly matters, building meaningful connections with others and cultivating a sense of inner peace. So let us not follow vulgar leaders who peddle fear and false hope. Instead, let us be guided by the wisdom of those who came before us, seeking liberation from both the delusions of reality and the delusions of religion. When we find happiness within ourselves, there is no need for external validation or salvation. And when we live with purpose and compassion, we create a better world for all.